Hello everyone, very welcome to iExam B 50% faster preparation. And now for RBI Grade B Phase 2 exam, you have to be much more faster. Time is limited, and what you do in the remaining days decides your fate. I hope you must have done in good in phase 1 exam, and we already know the cutoff expectations. It is going to be lesser than what last year. That is what as of now we understand, but I would recommend don't think about it. The exam is over. Whatever studies you do now, that is going to help you first in this year itself, and unfortunately if you are not able to crack phase 1, it will help you in coming exam, whether it is SEBI, NABARD Development Assistant, and IRDA, and many more exam coming in. If not, RBI 24B बहुत दूर नहीं है. It is not easy to crack any exam, but I am sure many of you who are sincerely following will get the success this year only. So now don't waste more time. Already one night sleep is done. You have taken rest. Now without wasting time, start preparation immediately. This is the question I asked. According to RBI monthly bulletin, UPI transactions contribute what percentage of the digital transaction volume as of the March? This data is not only relevant as an objective question in the exam, but when you will be doing descriptive question, there are very high expectation that some comment will come about the payment system in India, the importance of retail payment, specifically because India is the leading country. You must be knowing UPI technology has really made revolutionary progress on this direction. It is going to account for 90%. If you have read only heading, you will do this mistake. It is going to account for 90% of the retail transaction in next 5 years, and the volume is also very high, 8.88 billion transactions, 14 trillion of rupee. As of today, it is 75.6%. That is the correct answer. This is the percentage of the retail transaction done on UPI. Now, you still have time. So tomorrow, that is on Tuesday, we are starting this batch. This is the only program where you have an opportunity to meet faculty members, have face-to-face interaction, can ask your doubt. There will be brainstorming sessions, very useful for phase 2 descriptive exam. Entire syllabus of phase 2 is going to be covered in these 4 days extensive studies. We are covering the entire syllabus, and yes, the program is going to be little aggressive in terms of the coverage. You will have to do lot of practice, answer writing, and everything what you require for phase 2. Phase 2 you score high, there are very high chances, because phase 2 is the decision maker for your final selection. The question here is today's first question. One more thing, if you have not gone through the earlier video, please go, because my 90% plus questions are relevant for phase 2 in the entire series. Now onwards I am doing only phase 2 questions, but earlier also are relevant, and based on these, please try to think more so that you can also write in the descriptive one. So according to the efficient market hypothesis, which of the following is not true? Efficient market hypothesis, if the model you want to understand, so it says, like, if there is a $100 bill lying on the road, some Chicago professor, University of Chicago professor said this in some of the research paper, somebody would have taken it, because market are very efficient. So they have all the information, and then they don't leave any arbitrage there for time being. Maybe it will lie for fraction of second. So that is the idea of efficient market hypothesis. Now you have these options. So stock analyst can predict price pattern is not true about this, and you just apply your sense also how a stock analyst can predict the price pattern. If somebody can really do it, he will become millionaire, multimillionaire, billionaire, or something like that. Nobody can do it precisely. Share prices reflect all the information. That is what market believes, that share price indicates everything. There is no arbitrary opportunity, because if this exists, it will lie there for maybe fraction of second. Somebody will take it like a $100 bill on the road. Security prices reflect true underlying value of the asset, of course, right? So efficient market hypothesis is a hypothesis in financial economics states that asset price reflect all available information. A direct implication is that it is impossible to beat the market consistently, only a risk adjusted basis, since market price should only react to the new information. So according to this hypothesis, in long run you can't beat the market return, and that's why those traders, those investors, those who feel that they can get more than the market return may not be doing something like something which is really going to get them the market more than the market return, but it happens in some of the cases. Then there is a discussion about what is short run, long run. In some of the video I told you about alpha. So if you can really get more return than the market, that is called alpha. But because in reality it is also not true that all the information is available to everyone. I have been telling all this in various videos. So there are some arbitrage, so people take that advantage and earn some alpha, but this hypothesis says there is no arbitrage possible. Liability side of a balance sheet consists of typical phase 2 question: capital, reserves, provision and current liabilities, all of the above. So simple hai. If you have seen the balance sheet, so liability means company ki dendariyan, something that company has to give it to others. So capital and reserves, though it may look like to somebody who is from non-finance background like an asset, capital hai, reserve hai, so it make company strong, but these are liability because this company has to pay to shareholders. What is the purpose of the Basel III framework? To regulate the global foreign exchange market, to ensure stability and resilience of the banking system. Yes. To facilitate cross-border mergers. No. To promote international trade. No. So simple one, Basel III framework is international regulation. This comes from Basel Committee, BIS. Where is it headquartered? Switzerland, right? Developed by the Basel Committee on Banking Supervision. Its primary objective to enhance the resilience and stability of the banking system by imposing stricter capital requirement, liquidity standard and risk management practices on the bank. So all capital adequacy ratio and risk management guidelines come from there. Then various regulators, based on the situation in their country, they adopt it and they implement in the respective geography. So in our case it is RBI which does this. Bank XYZ Limited maintained a data and recovery center as a part of disaster management strategy. Which risk is trying to be covered through this? You must know what is credit risk, what is market risk, what is operational risk, systemic risk and systematic risk. I am not telling today the difference. If any one of you know, write in the comment. It is again, even if not asked this question in the exam, somewhere if you mention in your answer only when it is relevant, so that tells the depth of the understanding, right? So this one is simple one. This is operational risk, because here the risk is that data may be lost, right? So disaster management, so you have to have this BCP, business recovery plan. So there are disaster management systems, and these came into very much in limelight after that 2001 attack on the WTO. You must have seen plane crashing into the WTO twin towers. Tower collapsed, but those companies working in these towers, they started working within a week, because all this data were kept in some other server in off-site, in different site. So this disaster recovery management and BCP became very, very popular and important after that. I am giving all this background, sometime easy to remember. Which of the following options best describe the Modigliani-Miller theorem? Many people, they study finance and they say, I have never heard Modigliani-Miller theorem. They are one of the people, those who got Nobel Prize. This is very useful theorem, even if you don't know detail, because for RBI Grade B exam you need not to go to the depth of every subject here, but you must know the important thing. So here I am again not taking much of the time. I am going directly to the answer. Mudgani-Miller theorem. It states that the capital structure of a firm is irrelevant to the market value. So I have explained many a times, if you have to understand the market value in very simple terms, so you for a listed company, and so even for a private company which is unlisted, we can say the market value is easier to understand is market capitalization, price of a share, and the number of share issued. So what it says, that the capital structure of a firm, what is capital structure? How much debt and how much equity is there. So the balance of the debt and equity is called the capital structure of the firm. So you are not a corporate finance student, so don't worry going into all these detail, and sometimes you don't understand what all I am talking. Just mug up. Objective is to clear the exam. Just mug up. If beyond a point things are not going inside, it's okay, because there is lot to do on ESI, descriptive English. Descriptive English is 1/3 of the exam. Practicing writing is very important. So just understand and remember this. So this is about the capital structure of a firm. Mudgani-Miller. It is stated that under certain assumptions, there are some assumptions, the capital structure of a firm does not affect its market value. It suggests that the market value of a firm is determined by the earning potential and the risk associated with its cash flows rather than the way it is financed. So how a company is financed? There are only two sources of getting finance for a company. So this is a company, so it can get finance either through equity. All startup fundraising is equity financing. Companies sell their shares and get equity financing. Second is debt financing. So companies borrow loans from bank or maybe from NBFCs, maybe from private people also. So debt has to be repaid, and equity, against equity you have issued the share. So there is no such definite obligation to pay the money back to the equity holders, because they have bought your shares. So these are the two source of funding for a company. The balance of these two, how much debt or how much equity one has taken, it doesn't determine the value of the firm. It says the cash flow earning, the futuristic cash flow means how the company is going to earn in the future, and the risk associated with it, that determines the value of the firm, rather than the company has taken debt or it has taken equity. In fact, out of the finance I will tell you, so the one source of funding for a company, the best source of a funding for a company, again don't quote it in the finance book, you may not find it, but it may be again useful in writing the descriptive exam, is funds from customers. That is the best source of funding for a company. If customers are paying you, and in some of the businesses it has gone to a very different level, like in real estate business, where customers have been paying in advance and companies diverted the money. So, but this is you will not find in the finance book, this is more like a business practice. Mudgani-Miller theorem, this much understanding is enough. We not only have phase 1 mock test, but also have phase 2 mock test. Practicing in phase 2 is much more important than in phase 1, because even if we know, but do we have art of expression in limited words? That is what matters the most in the phase 2 exam over your knowledge, and especially the data part. Don't worry much now. Data and names, don't worry much now. You have to learn writing. Which of the following measure is used to evaluate the performance of mutual fund? Slightly difficult question, I would say. So current ratio you must be knowing, PE ratio you must be knowing, mostly used for share price information in the market when you are investing. ROE, return on equity, Sharpe ratio or dividend yield ratio. Correct answer here is Sharpe ratio. So, Sharpe ratio is used for evaluating the risk adjusted performance of an investment or a portfolio, including mutual fund. It assesses the excess return generated by an investment per unit of the risk taken. It assesses the alpha. A higher Sharpe ratio indicates better risk adjusted performance. Higher the Sharpe ratio, better it is. Which of the following measure is used to gauge income inequality within a country? Income inequality within a country. You will find this one in the books also, because try to understand this. A country having higher per capita income is better than a country having lower per capita income. Is this definitely true? No. This is not definitely true, because there can be a situation, a country having higher per capita income may have few people, maybe 10% of their population, who are having 90% of the country's income. What about the distribution? So, Gini coefficient here takes care of that income inequality. It is widely used measure for income inequality within a country, quantifies the extent of which the distribution of income among individuals or household deviates from the perfect equality. A Gini coefficient of 0 indicates equality, while a coefficient of 1 signifies maximum inequality. Now, I ask a question to you. Suppose this comes in exam. A 0 Gini coefficient is this indicate that a country or an economy is better than somebody having a positive Gini coefficient in all the situation. A perfect equality, is that good? You write your comment, because this is something which we can debate, which we can talk, and these kind of discussions are useful when you are writing phase 2 exam. Which of the following should be the part of corporate governance framework? Corporate governance is separate topic. There will be questions from all separate topics, right? So, you cannot leave any topic here in phase 2. Protect and facilitate the exercise of shareholders' right. Of course, ensure that timely and accurate disclosure is made on all material matters. Yes, material matters. Ensure efficient markets such as the price of shares at its intrinsic value. Who is responsible for this efficient market? Ensure board's accountability to the company and shareholders, of course. So, A, B and D, because this efficient market thing is not the board's responsibility. Corporate governance is the board responsibility, the company's responsibility. The management has to be held accountable, but management cannot be held accountable for the share price, because it varies also in the market situations. Right? Efficient functioning of the market by facilitating transparent information and disclosure, but it cannot ensure pricing of the share. Correct? Pricing of the share should be market driven. Demand and supply are the important thing there. One way communication will be characteristic of which of the following types of leadership? Autocratic, democratic, paternalistic, transformational. None of the above. Communication is another topic, and this is again simple one. So, when the communication is happening one way, it is an autocratic style of leadership. Now, you answer this question. The paternalistic style of leadership is closely related to which type of needs as per Maslow theory of the employees? Straight forward question नहीं आने वाला कि which of the following is in the Maslow. This type of leadership connected with the Maslow theory. Please write in the comment. We will discuss more questions in coming videos. Most important is not to waste your time anymore. Every minute, every hour, every day is important, because now those who are going to write phase 2 exam are among the selected one. Competition is going to be becoming tougher and tougher, and now you put your efforts, you are going to reap your benefits very soon. Good luck. Meet you in the next video. Thank you.